Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, debts, lacers, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome. And let's go to the good old USA. Talk about the story that came out about Obama's vacations, especially now that we're here so close to the end of the Obama administration, 8 years of the Obama administration. And this article came out and said that they spent $44,351,777.12 on travel. Of course, that's just an approximate figure. But of course, my eyes popped out. And, I know there's been a lot of discussion about these vacations, and a lot of people over the last 8 years have talked about the fact that Obama's taking so many vacations. Surely he must be the vacation king. But turns out that's not true. But still, let me first focus on the fact that Obama administration has spent that much on travel. Of course, the numbers are all over the map. I've seen articles that talk about 44 million. I've seen some that say 70 million. I've seen some that say 80 million. I'll attach those all below. It depends on how you calculate expenses. And a lot of times it's misleading because as far as I understand, for example, the hotels and the places where Michelle Obama and Barack Obama stay and everything are paid out of their own pocket. I mean, I'm sure that's true. Well, I'm not sure that's true, but that's what I understand, especially for Michelle Obama and the daughters when they travel. And of course, it's been an issue for me because I also noticed that a lot of these vacations they go on, Michelle Obama's mom also goes on the vacations. So I have a problem with that too. So I don't know if that's even factored into these numbers. But anyway, the fact that the taxpayer forks over the $50 million over 8 years for a president to go on vacation, I think is really a bit over the top. And I kind of agree with the Trump strategy here. You're in there for a certain amount of time. You have the most responsibilities of any single human being on the planet, theoretically. And I think for the most part, you should be spending that time working. And there's plenty of time for vacations after you leave office. I mean, look at the Clintons. They got enough money where they could go all over the world. And they do. But of course, all their trips are paid for because they go somewhere and travel and see the world and then get paid $300,000, $400,000 to speak there. So that takes the bite out of their travel expenses. But anyway, so $50 million for traveling expenses, I think that's really gratuitous and really kind of taking advantage of the office. And whether it's 44 million or 70 or 80 million doesn't really matter at this point. But here's where it gets interesting, of course, that when Obama leaves office, he is going to have had 200 vacation days. And sorry, folks, but George Bush is still the king at 879 vacation days, including 77 trips to the Crawford, Texas ranch. And so that's nearly 900 trips. That's at least four times, over four times as many as what Obama's taken. And one of the other gray areas here I want to mention too is that it also gets blurry because with the Bush administration, you have mostly Bush traveling and his family back and forth to Crawford. And then trips around the world as well. But I think Michelle Obama and the daughters and the mom and Obama have taken a lot of exotic vacations. They're particularly expensive. And let's remember that a lot of expenses are just the entourage that goes with them, some 900 people, I think, when they went to China. But so anyway, George Bush is still the king. But then you go back, Jimmy Carter was the president who took the least amount of vacation, 79 days. So up until Obama, Jimmy Carter was the king of the least amount of vacations. And Reagan had 335 days at the ranch and 41 days at Palm Springs. So he had more 400 vacation days. So that's still twice as many as Obama. And then President Clinton had 174 days of vacation as well. And I don't know how many of them were to the teenage sex slave island ran by Epstein. I'm sure those didn't cost the taxpayer anything. And then I found it funny too, of course, just like everything else, if you go back in history, you have Eisenhower's criticized for spending too much time on the golf course, so some things never change. And it goes all the way back to presidents like John Adams, who was criticized for traveling back and forth to his Massachusetts home, which of course is peanuts compared to what politicians do now. And then, of course, you factor in all the vacations that the congressmen managed to get out of the taxpayers well. But I don't want to discount the fact that they get a lot of free vacations that are paid for by lobbyists. But that's a whole other can of worms. So there you have it. Obama, yeah, spent nearly $50 million over 8 years on vacations and taking his wife, kids, and mother-in-law around the world. And that's all fine and good. But it's a long and illustrious tradition. And George Bush is still #1 vacation president. I'm useful, Lydia. Don't you be one too?